Hi, my name is Susan Weimer, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My blog is www.stampbackandrelax.blogspot.com, and I am Susan_Weimer. On Instagram, I'm here as part of the Craftin' Desert Divas design team with a tutorial on how to stretch your stamps. We'll be making this card using the Jawsome set, and it's an outline image that we're going to convert into a silhouette. And I got this idea from Lydia Fiedler, and I'll link to her post below. I think this is a fun tutorial. Craftin' Desert Divas, a lot of our stamps are outline stamps meant to color. So this is the Jawsome set, and as you can see, all of the images are outlined. I'm going to be using that cute little image in the top right-hand corner. I've already cut a mask out of some Eclipse masking paper, I think. And I used this kind of soft, undulating, wavy border from our Stitch Scallop die set because it's evening when our shark is sailing in or surfing in, I guess. And I cut a little bit more than a half circle with just a general circle die. I have some Bristol Smooth paper cut into an A2 card size and my regular size Misty. Oh my goodness. And I have my black Copic marker, which is a 100, and my white gel pen. And for the sky, I have the following distressings: Tumbled Glass, which will be the lightest color that we use, Chipped Sapphire, Black Soot for just around the edges, and then in the Distress Oxides, Mermaid Lagoon, and Faded Jeans. So we're going to get started with some color blending here in just a second. I get my masks put on, and everything is stuck down to my slippery paper that always slips when I'm on camera. And I'm going to start first with a coating of the Mermaid Lagoon. And I picked this just to get a nice coat down. And I prefer to blend with the Distress Oxides. So we will get right in there and do that. I'm going to start off the paper and start blending. This is sped up, but it just doesn't look right. Anyway, I'm not a very good blender, even on Bristol Smooth cardstock, so I have to go over this a few times. And in fact, I leave out my second application of, I might even have put a third on, of the Distress inks just to get this to look right. I really fuss with that, and I know some other people usually put 2 coats on, so I thought, well, I'll try that. And I do think it worked better this time. And we're going to switch. Come in with Faded Jeans, which is such a beautiful color. Please excuse my voice again today. My allergies are still bothering me. I think it's going to be for a few more weeks here in Florida. And I really do love this color. I just think it's such a beautiful shade of blue. And it's, again, I think it's one of those colors that's prettier in the oxides than it is in the Distress inks. Go back and I've got my Tumbled Glass, and that's my lightest color. And I'm going to go up sort of against the moon there. So the circle is supposed to symbolize the moon. I need some color there, but I don't want a whole lot because I want that reflection still left in the sky that the moon, the glow of the moon, would give off. And if you lived here, you would see that glow in the moon in the middle of the night come in through your draperies, and you would hear the owls hooting. Okay, and then I'm coming in with some Chipped Sapphire to darken up some of the edges. And this is a regular Distress ink. It's another beautiful color. And I'm trying to really get a good blend in because I want my shark to look like he's standing up against the sky. I'm just going to put a little bit of Black Soot along the edges, just to darken them up again, because as we move away from the moon, the sky would get naturally darker. And I just put a smidgy little bit there by the water. Okay, Now, here's where you would have thought that I would have saved the other side of the die cut so that I could reverse mask off the image so I could color in the waves. So I started off with cracked pistachio. And I'm just going to color in. And again, I repeat this process twice. I've cut out the second part so you don't have to watch it because my blending is so horrible. I don't know. Some people get them. They're perfect the first time. And this is that peacock color. Peacock feathers. I had to look in my drawer. Fortunately, it was right on top. That's not a normal thing. So I'm trying to give this guy, the sea a little bit more of a green color to delineate the sky from the sea. And then this last color is Broken China Distress Oxides. And all of the colors on the sea, with the exception of the chip sapphire that I'm going to put on right now, are Distress Oxides. And I think adding the chip sapphire really brought this whole thing together. And I guess I'm going to add a little teeny weeny little bit of black soot. Couldn't find my round marker, so I'm going old school here. And then there you go. A little bit of glow in the ocean, just a little bit of waves. And, excuse me, just adding some more color just to blend it out a little bit better. I'm actually trying to clean my desk. Very unusual. I'm going to give this a chance to heat dry. Because when I stamp on it, I want my image to be nice and crisp. So I want the inks to be dry. So I've got my MISTI out. And I'm going to get out my cute little shark and place him on the cardstock. Theoretically. Should be happening soon. Here we go. And I don't know quite where to put him. So I'm going to shift him around and finally decide to put him there. I'm going to pick him up. And what I'm going to do is, initially, I really don't want to get that bottom part of his surfboard inked up because I want it to look like his board's in the water. But for some reason, and don't do this, I double stamp this image. When you're trying to do one of these silhouetted images, I would say do single stamping or maybe even think about second generation stamping, because when I look at my card close up, I can still see the lines excuse me, through the black Copic. Lydia used, I think, a Sharpie in hers. Any alcohol-based marker will do. And I stamped with Memento Tuxedo black ink. And it's easy. Color in the whole image black. Please excuse the dinging in the background. That is my wash machine telling me to come and empty it and do all those fun things. So I'm just going to color him as carefully as I can. And I'm saving the edges for the other side of my marker. I've switched out the tips on some of my very darkest Copic markers. So, wow, that got blurry. That's weird. So there's the special fine bullet nib that right now is out of stock in a lot of places, but I highly recommend for some of your dark colors switching over to that nib. And you can see right there the lines showing through because I double stamped it. And I'm probably going to make this card over as I look at it again before I send it off to my son-in-law. I'm not happy with how it came out in terms of the lines showing through the image. I think next time I will either use a lighter gray ink, that might be better, or a second generation stamping. Or try a Sharpie. That might be better. But I think that this tutorial gets across the point that you can take any line image and convert it into a silhouette, which I just think is so ingenious. And Lydia got her tutorial based off a tutorial on Split Coast stampers. There are a ton of great tutorials and challenges over on Split Coast. I highly recommend that you go over there and join up with them. So off screen, I had forgot to turn the camera on. I embossed the sentiment in white and stuck it on. And then I stuck on the droplets, the clear droplets, and then I still didn't like it. So then I cut it down. It's with a 1/4 inch border all the way. And then I still didn't like it. So I'm going to spray this with water. Everything is done on this. I get water on my sentiment. And this is when I think sometimes we should just walk away. I should leave my cards, walk away, because I really change almost every single card. And that little flicking technique's really not doing what I want it to do, because I want the water to look like it's splashing up, because even though it's a gentle surf for my little guy here, he's got to come in and have some splashes, right? So I also forgot his drop shadow, which you could sort of see there. I had started it and then thought I had finished it on camera. So I have my Copic, I think it's C5 and C3. I'm going to give it a shot with the heat gun, get him good and dry. And I've added, if you notice, a white outline, also off camera, sorry about that, with my white gel pen, and that kind of gives him that glow look. So I'm going to take my W00, I'm going to add some dots to my moon, just stippling, because the moon has craters. Lydia left her moon blank, and I don't know which one I like better. I thought I was going to like it this way, but this is my W1 marker. And so I just added those because when I look at the moon, even when it's really, really bright out here and I live near the woods, I can still see those little craters. So I thought I'd use the warm markers though, instead of the cool or the neutrals. I have a few toners, but I don't know what that would have looked like. Oh, and off camera, if you'll notice, I don't know, I lost a whole section of video footage. I added googly eyes to my little guy. So now I'm making that drop shadow as the moon's reflected upon my shark. His reflection is going to bounce back into the water. However, it would have been better had I done that before I added my sentiment. So this really is a tutorial on on what not to do when you're stamping and filming a video and trying to make a nice card. And I hope you can learn from it, because I did. I won't do these mistakes again. But it was a really fun process and just yielded such a fun image. And I have so many outline images because I love to color. That's my thing. And I'm glad I have one way of converting these. I'm also thinking of doing this, trying again to add more droplets up there. Don't like them. I wonder what this would look like if you took an embossing pen and colored the image in with the embossing pen and then sprinkled it with black powder. It would be kind of messy probably, but it might look really cool. And now I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably change something else. I'm just not very good at making up my mind. Tapping on my fingers. Yep, this is real life. And I just pointed out to you that I had added that white line as kind of a highlight. And that's the card. Thank you so much for stopping by for this episode of What Not to Do When You're Stamping. And I hope you enjoyed it. And please hit the thumbs up button if you like the video. Feel free to leave a comment. I check them and will answer any questions you have. And please hit the subscribe button. And I will link to Lydia's tutorial and the products in the description box below. Hopefully I can figure out how to do that this time. And thank you once again